Alright everybody, welcome back to Conquering Commander. This is going to be a game featuring my Sharuum the Hegemon deck, the Sphinx themed deck. For the complete deck list, go to puremtgo.com. Check out my article series Conquering Commander. They're in the middle of Sphinx week right now, so you'll get a whole lot of Sphinx related goodness. Let's just take a quick look at my opponents here. First up, we've got Erebos, God of the Dead. Usually some form of mono black control. You know, it's it's mono black control. I mean, there's not really a whole lot to it other than the fact that it is mono black. So a lot of times they play a lot of planeswalkers too, I've noticed. So anyways, next up we've got the Mimeoplasm. This is the first of the two Mimeoplasm decks in this game. The only notable thing about this one, other than the fact that they are both graveyard based, is that this one is the straight up Devour for Power precon, which is currently the most powerful of the precons available online. MTGO does not get all the new stuff until December 20th, but if you really need your commander fix and you want a precon to start off with, get the Mimeoplasm one, Devour for Power. It is the best, and you will see it in action here. We've also got another Mimeoplasm deck here, and this guy has obviously done his own thing. And again, it is another graveyard-based deck, but we'll go ahead and see what's going to happen here. Taking a look at my hand, I've only got one land. It's Mishra's Workshop. That's not going to cut it. I mulligan, and I get Mishra's Workshop back with Phyrexian Arena and Propaganda, so this is definitely key. Let's take a look. Oh, I start off. I draw Pilgrim's Eye. I don't think there's a whole lot of serious action in the first couple turns. I play my Watery Grave that I draw. So basically I'm going to go into Phyrexian Arena, and then the next turn I'm going to do Propaganda. Simic Signet from the Mimeoplasm here. Dimir Signet here from this Mimeoplasm. Erebos does nothing. I go ahead and do the Phyrexian Arena. So I'm not hurting for mana. Soul Ring for this Mimeoplasm, and then Kodama's Reach for a couple lands. This one does Dreamborn Muse. Okay, so this is going to start filling up graveyards really quick. And, you know, because I'm playing a Sphinx deck, there's going to be some juicy stuff in my graveyard. Really what this, and he... Erebos plays Phyrexian Arena. Really, this game turns into a Magister Sphinx game. Almost everybody gets hit by Magister Sphinx in this game at least once. And that's one of my main concerns or problems with Magister Sphinx. I might dump a whole bunch of crap into my graveyard. There's Propaganda. Is that it turns into a game of, well, who has Magister Sphinx? And how can I get it and dome people? The Mimeoplasm doesn't play anything, which is interesting. I guess he didn't see anything. And this Mimeoplasm didn't play anything. So Dreamborn gets a Shriek Mod, which is good because we don't want to give them both too many more targets. I don't have an artifact creature in my graveyard right now. Other than that, I would bust out Sharuum. Right now, my graveyard is just all land and mana drain. I do draw Tezzeret, though. My guess is this Mimeoplasm is holding a counterspell, and we're going to see what happens here. I play Pilgrim's Eye first, after playing Mishra's Workshop for an island, and then I play Argent Sphinx. Just because Argent Sphinx is, I don't know, a possibility. It doesn't have Metalcraft right now, so it's just a flying beater right now. At the end of my turn, this Mimeoplasm casts Thirst for Knowledge and puts some Crackling Counterpart and Pact of Negation in his graveyard. So yes, he did have a counterspell. It's interesting. And then he putrefies my Argent Sphinx. And then he does nothing. So he's holding on to like removal or another counter. This Mimeo does nothing either. You figure I ought to be able to take advantage of this, but I don't. Erebos comes out. Nobody's going to gain life, which is disappointing because I've got both Sphinx's Revelation and Sphinx of the Steel Wind, two of my 3 life gain cards in my hand. So I draw some cards. There's Grim Monolith. I play it. And I try to put Tezzeret out there, but he gets counterspell. Oh, no, he doesn't get counterspell. My bad. So I end up searching up Seed of the Synod just so I can have 2 blue mana for the counterspell. At the end of my turn, this Mimeoplasm tries to Cyclonic Rift with Overload. And I'm like, no, I don't want to do that. I'm just going to counterspell. And the reason he wants to do this is because he's going to cast Dimir Signet. That's not as important. And Windfall. So this is obvious. This is a modified version of the Mimeoplasm deck, but he does. This is good and bad. It means that Sphinx of the Steel Wind is going to go in the graveyard, which is bad. It's good because I get 7 new cards. Then again, everybody does. And then he plays Hero's Downfall, getting rid of my Tezzeret, which is sad. I would have enjoyed having Tezzeret around. But I do draw into some good stuff with Grand Arbiter and Phyrexian Metamorph. There's the Mimeoplasm, and what he's going to do is, let's stop here. Lord of Extinction was in this Mimeoplasm's graveyard, and Sepulchral Primordial was in this guy's graveyard. So now he's got a 67, 66, and he's going to steal some stuff from graveyards. What else is he going to take? He's going to take Nirkana Revenant, Sphinx of the Steel Wind, and Solemn Simulacrum. So, yeah. The good thing is I've got Phyrexian Metamorph, so I can copy Sepulchral Primordial, and there is still some stuff in the graveyards that I can use. Luckily, no haste. Erebos plays Mindstone, and Solemn Simulacrum. So he's just trying to put out some sort of blocker so he doesn't die right now. Alright. So I'm going to first play Grand Arbiter. Then I'm going to play Sepulchral Primordial. I'm going to get some stuff from the graveyards. So one of the things I got, I pulled Damia because it's a Death Touch creature. And I put Harvester of Souls because I expect dudes to die. And Fleshbag Marauder. Everybody's got a Solemn Simulacrum, so this is going to make people, draw. And then I draw from Harvester. But it also leaves Erebos open to Sepulchral Primordial. We don't know what the Mimeoplasm is going to do, but I assume he's going to do something. On top of that, I've also got Propaganda too. I draw Ancient Tomb and Withered Wayfarer and Solemn Simulacrum, and I play the Simulacrum just to have another blocker and ramp a little bit more. And I hit this Mimeoplasm player for 1. And I discard a land. This guy busts out his own Mimeoplasm, and he gets stop. He yanks Vorosh from this Mimeoplasm's graveyard, and Hyphonia the Cruel from Erebos' graveyard. So now he's going to be able to wipe the board with enough mana, and he does have the mana. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. Yeah, he's got it. So next turn he can Monstrosity. There's Lightning Greaves on the Primordial. So this guy's going to take out Erebos. And he tried to attack me with the Sphinx, but he didn't want to have to pay Propaganda, so Erebos is dead. Long live Erebos. He's going to Cultivate now. Fine. I know that Monstrosity is going to occur real quick here. I don't draw anything off Damia because I already have 7 cards in hand. So first I play Azoria Signet. And then I play Warden of Evos Isle. And I've got Grand Arbiter out there too. So I'm going to be able to cast Sphinx of Vuthun for just 5 mana instead of the 7. What I reveal is Magister Sphinx, Jace Beleren, Swamp, Tidehollow Strix, and Windreader Sphinx. Okay. So basically what he does is he puts Magister in one pile and all the other ones in another pile. I don't want Magister. Well, what I could have done, I guess, was put Magister in the graveyard, put everything else in my hand, and then cast Sharuum, and then brought Magister back. But I didn't do that. Instead, I grabbed the Magister, and I dome this Mimeoplasm player. Alright, so again, it's going to turn into a whole bunch of like, who can do what with Magister Sphinx. And then I send all my guys after this Mimeoplasm player. He does have enough mana to cast Mystifying Maze, or to use Mystifying Maze, and he uses it on Damia. And Damia is going to go back to its controller's hand. I just didn't have enough creatures really to go after this guy right now. Yeah, because he could have just blocked Sepulchral Primordial and not worried about it, because Hythonia is just too big. What I'm hoping is that I'll be able to use Sharuum next turn for something. There's the monstrosity. So Hythonia gets bigger. It wipes the board. I draw a card off Solemn. Get Mana Vault. Eternal Witness grabs Cyclonic Rift out of his graveyard, okay? Hythonia, or Damia stays out because she is a Gorgon. Fine. So, Cyclonic Rift is going to be hitting soon. This Mimeoplasm doesn't draw any additional cards because she already has 7. But, he can cast the Mimeoplasm. He uses Magister Sphinx out of my graveyard and Sphinx of the Steel Wind to make it big. So it's an 11/11, and he's got Lightning Greaves. So he domes me with Magister Sphinx. And he decides to kill off the other Mimeoplasm player first. That gives me 1 turn to try and figure something out here. Oh, he hits me with Damia, knocking me down to 6, and then I dropped to 5 because of Phyrexian Arena. And that Mimeoplasm player is gone. Okay, so I draw Imperial Seal, which is problematic because I can't lose the 2 life and then lose another life from Phyrexian Arena. That'll put me at 2, and that's just too close. What I really need are flyers. So I'm going to cast Sharuum and then Metamai, so that I'll at least have a couple blockers. So Sharuum's going to bring back Phyrexian Metamorph, copying Magister Sphinx. And I'm Magister Sphinxing this guy now, knocking him to 10. And then I play Metamai. And I can't cast Ancient Tomb, or use Ancient Tomb, because again, I'm only at 5. He's at 10. I've got 3 flyers, right? Should be good enough, right? Unfortunately, 2 of them are artifacts. And, oh, I play Mana Vault, not that it matters. So, during his upkeep, he uses Relic Crush. Relic Crush is a card that doesn't see as much play as it probably should because it costs 5 mana. But you can destroy 2 artifacts or enchantments at instant speed for 5 mana. So there go my 2 of my blockers. All he has to do is really get rid of 1 more. And he wins the game, right? He does. Actually, he doesn't even need to get rid of another blocker. He could have attacked with both of them. And I would have had to block. Yeah, Damia would have gotten through. I would have died to Phyrexian Arena. Doesn't matter. He's got Avatar of Woe. He puts the Greaves on it. He kills Metamai. And then he attacks me. And that's the game. So yeah, I mean, the game was shorter because Magister Sphinx was out there. But, you know, Magister Sphinx ended up killing me. So, you know, you live by the sword, you die by the sword. It's just, if you don't want Magister Sphinx, there's another Sphinx or 2 out there you could throw in. Like Sphinx Ambassador or something like that. But, you know, Magister Sphinx is on theme. It's a Sphinx, it's an artifact creature, it flies. So it will end up making games go quicker. And good for this guy using the straight up precon to beat the rest of us. Alright, hope you guys enjoyed that. Thanks.